Hello, hello, beautiful. How are you? Hello, everyone. How exciting. I'm so excited. Welcome to Manifestation Musings number 2. I've just been filing my nails and I need to put that down. I'm so excited. I have an epiphany that I just want to speak to. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm looking forward to chatting. It was so much fun yesterday. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's go again today. Let's see how long I'm on for. Who knows? We'll see. Let me know how everyone is doing, where you guys are from, all of that jazz. I was speaking to one of my gorgeous clients last night, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just just running, pardon me, just running along the beach in Florida." And I'm like, I am currently lay in bed with 2 blankets on top of me and an hoodie. So there's that. It is a little chilly here in Sydney, the first day of winter. Okay, let's do this epiphany. And to those who are going to watch the replay, this is going to blow your mind. To those who are going to jump on live with me, this is also going to blow your mind. Okay, so follow me through the whole thing, because if you don't follow me through the whole kind of thought process, I'm in Florida and it's okay, lol, not hot. Okay. It's cold here. Okay, so follow me through the whole thing. And because if you don't, you'll see it as a limitation. So, you know, when you like wake up, it's super early, but then you're too tired to wake up, you fall back asleep. Well, that was me this morning. And so when I went back to La La Land and like dream state, all of my subconscious was like popping. Okay, so how do I word this? Let's see how it comes out. Let's just say that we have a finite amount of energy and finite amount of power when it comes to manifestation. Let's just go with that for a second. You only have so much power to manifest certain things in life. Say that were the case. All right. You have a finite amount of energy and a finite amount of power. Not the case, but this is what we're going with, this hypothetical. And I thought to myself, okay, if that were the case, what would people choose? Would people still be choosing to use all of their power on manifesting a specific person, and that's all they think about? Or would they be focused on up leveling their own lives and be focused on all the other things that they want to be manifesting? And I sat with it and I thought, people would still choose the SP. I know they would. And that like hurts my heart. Even though they have finite in this like hypothetical, thought, even though they have a finite amount of energy and finite amount of powers, they still would choose this SP to manifest. And I thought, fuck, okay, let's dive into that a bit more. So we know we have infinite amount of power. We are able to manifest like a motherfucker. Okay. You can multi-manifest. This is a thing that I'm asked all the time. Can you multi-manifest? You're currently multi-manifesting. Everything you see around you, you're manifesting. Your whole experience, you're manifesting. You're always multi-manifesting. So if that's the case, if we actually have infinite amount of power, then why is it that so many people will spend all fucking day thinking about this one specific person, manifesting this one specific person, when they have all these other things that they want to be manifesting? Okay, so keep following me through. Clients will come to me and go, I have this whole list of things that I want to manifest. I want to manifest this, this, and this. But always at the top of their whole list is SP, which is fine, totally fine. But it's just very interesting that that is always the number one thing. Specific person, and then everything about you and everything else in your life comes beneath this specific person and this specific person manifestation. I thought, oh, okay, let's keep unpacking this. So if we know that we can multi-manifest and you can manifest specific person and all the other things that you want at the same time, because you can select a version of you where you have it all and you're the woman who has it all, then again, why are we still focused all day on specific person? And to follow that, not just focusing on this person all day, you're actually fucking up your feeling state and judging yourself of how good you are at manifesting based on how much this person has conformed. And that's where people fuck up. So not only are you over prioritizing this person in your head, you're thinking what they're doing, who they're with, have they conformed yet, how long it's taking, you're focusing your affirmations all day, every day on this person. But then you're saying to yourself, okay, so they haven't fully conformed yet. Now, my happiness and how happy your day is, how well you think you are doing with manifesting, you're judging yourself because based on this, based on how much movement you're getting with that. And that, oh, that kills me because I can see so many people are in this loop where it's like, why are we spending all day, every day thinking about this person? Why are we judging ourselves of how good we are at, hello, beautiful, how good we are at manifesting based on how well this person is conforming or how fast this person is conforming? And then you're stopping focusing on all the other things. And I was like, okay, let's dig more into this. The reason why people are doing this is so many reasons. And this is the heart of why people struggle with SPs. Before I mention, I'm going to read what is on here. I know why. They feel if they can manifest this person, then absolutely anything else will be possible. It's more to see it will work to make things happen. It's more to see it work to make better things happen. Oh, that's good. You'll be watching the replay. Any tips on dealing with circumstances while PMSing? Okay, I will get back to that, Autumn. Okay, so love that. Love what you said, Inkton Beautiful. Okay, so I thought to myself, all right, that's good. What you said about like evidence and feeling like, oh, if they can do this, they can do anything. But it's like that you're coming about it the wrong way. Like people are coming about it the wrong way. You shouldn't be like, well, if I can manifest this, then I can manifest everything else. No, no, this person isn't going anywhere. The reason why people get so fixated on dropping the ball with everything else they're manifesting, consciously manifesting, when you can be doing both. You can be doing both. You can be making the decision that you're in the reality where you have your SP, you're worthy of that relationship. You are more than enough. This relationship is amazing. And you have the money, the job, the body, blah, 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 all of that sort of stuff. The reason why is one, it's hitting a wound, usually like a limiting belief of like, they don't think that they can actually get the manifestation. That's a limiting belief. I need to focus all of my power, all of my attention all day, every day, because if I don't, I might not get the manifestation. What happens if this person goes to someone else? Then they think, oh, fuck. Well, if they move on, which they can never move on, if they move on or start seeing someone else, then that's it. I can't manifest them back. So they're scared and intimidated of circumstances. They think, well, if I see something in the 3D that I don't like, then I can't actually get what I want. There, it touches on this thing of like, I need to focus on them all the time because I need to make this happen, because then I'm also using this, like I said, if I don't get this manifestation right now, then I think that manifestation is not a thing. I think that I'm a shit manifester. I don't think I can manifest everything else. And it's like, oh my God, all of those beliefs is why you're struggling with this SP. And also, if you're over prioritizing this person all day, every day, you're getting into the habit of like, that's all you think about. And that's going to manifest into your behavior and into the stuff that you're doing. And you want this person, yeah, you love them, they're amazing, great. But they're not more important than you. And they're not more important than your life. So I was like, wow, the fact that everyone, well, a lot of people, majority of people, are willing to focus all day, every day on this one person and not on the rest of their manifestations, all the things that it's just them, because they're scared that if they don't, this other person won't conform quickly. They won't get their manifestation. If this person doesn't conform quickly, then we're a shitty manifester. That gives us evidence that then we can't manifest other things. If they move on, if they start seeing other people, then that's it. We can't get our manifestations. It's like, no, stop being intimidated by circumstances. Time doesn't matter because time is totally irrelevant. In the 4D, past, present, and future, all happening at the same time. Plus, time is irrelevant because it's just a matter of consistency. The more frequently you return back to your state of consciousness and return back to your decision that, no, I'm the version of me who has this amazing relationship, who has this money, who has this career. Like, I'm the woman who has it all. I'm the man, I'm the woman who has it all. The more you return back to that state, that's why time doesn't matter, because that's when things shift very quickly. So I thought to myself, fuck, like, I just wish more people, especially when they come to me for coaching, I'm able to say to them, like, Yeah, SP is amazing and SP is great, but they're not the be all and end all. And please stop judging how well you're doing at manifesting based on how quickly this person is conforming or what you're seeing in the 3D. And then you're fucking up your whole day, a day you can't get back, mind you. A day you can't get back, time you cannot get back. And just because this person hasn't fully conformed, you're going to get upset and ruin your whole day. And you're not going to focus on any other manifestation. You're not going to focus on any other area in your life. You're going to think that you're shit. You're going to think manifestation is crap because of this version of a person that you're currently experiencing. It blows my fucking mind. It blows my mind. And I want to shake all of you and be like, please don't do that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yes, then you live with the regrets of, damn, I wish I had taken that walk or seen that friend. 100%. This person isn't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. You can manifest them and everything else at the same time. You don't have to be spending all day, every day focused on them, not focused on anything else. And again, like I keep saying, then you're looking at the 3D. You're still focused on the old story when you do this. When you're seeing how quickly they're conforming, you're still focused on they haven't conformed yet. And then you're using that as evidence to be like, well, I'm a shitty manifester, or this isn't working, or it's not manifesting quickly. And see how you're still attached to the 3D? Like, live your fucking life. Live your life. This person isn't going anywhere. I don't care, all right? Worst case scenario, I don't fucking care. If they get married to someone else, you still can manifest that if you want to. Like, let him. You want to go to the moon? You want to go fly to the moon? Amazing. Have the best time because I know you're going to be thinking about me. I know that circumstances don't matter, but people are too scared. Like people are scared that if they drop the focus off this person, they're not going to be able to manifest it. It's like, well, why are you dropping the focus of all the other things that you want to manifest? If that's the case, let's run with this logic, yeah? If people are like, but if I don't focus on my specific person all day, every day, then I'm not going to manifest them. Interesting. So then does that mean that all the other things you want to manifest, because you haven't been focusing on them very much, they're not going to manifest either? No, no. Let's go with a balanced approach and let's start seeing like, yes, this person is great, this person is amazing, but you are the person that counts here. They're living in this state of fear, exactly. And I wouldn't wish the state of fear, anxiety, worry on my worst enemy. It is fucking shit. It is awful to wake up every single day thinking, oh my God, here we go again. I didn't get the message. They didn't call me. I didn't get the movement. Now my day is ruined. Oh my God, what are they doing? Like, and you just have knots in your stomach and you feel anxious. It is the worst. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I just thought, okay, this is really interesting. And I hope people hear this. I feel like I might need to repeat it a few times in different ways. But I really hope people hear this and really see that this person, this relationship is a complementary thing to your life, to your life. And if, which isn't the case, but if you had a finite amount of manifestation power and you still choose to focus on this person rather than your own life, that's very interesting to me. Very, very interesting. Because I know hand on heart, heart being on the left side, I'd be focused on me. But again, not the case, just an interesting thing. Okay, let me go through the chat. Any tips on dealing with circumstances while PMSing? I've been so in my head today and I'm forcing myself to disconnect. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. So I have a beautiful experience because, like I said, on Monday, I was in the emergency room in regards to hormonal stuff. I was bleeding like a mofo for like 2 weeks in extreme pain. And I still found time to be able to be like, okay, I'm in a lot of fucking pain here. I need to go to the hospital. I need to sort this out. I need to stop this bleeding. And I still decided this is working out for me somehow. This is working out for me. Go general. Go general. If it's triggering you to be focusing on specific, I'm sorry if you can hear bloody gardening outside. If you're struggling to focus when it comes to specific things because of how you're feeling, fuck, go general. This is working out for me somehow. I don't know, but it is. It's working out for me. And then things will start to slowly unfold. As I decided to persist in, you know what, this is actually working out for me. I was skipping the line when it comes to the waiting room in the emergency room. Normally it's hours and hours and hours you're waiting just to like see someone. No, straight in. Great. Okay, cool. This is all working out for me somehow. Okay, cool. People took my case very seriously. I had a number of doctors with me. Great. I was able to, all my tests, I manifested that they were all clear. Everything was great. Like, keep focusing on everything is working out for you somehow. Like, you don't have to get specific, go general. Feel that sense of relief. Like, everything is working out for you. Everything, like, I truly believe every single circumstance that happens, everything you're experiencing is just part of your bridge somehow. It's just part of your bridge. Um, don't see it as a purge. Don't see it as fuck, you've fucked up somehow and you're going backwards. It's like, no, this is all working out for me somehow. You don't have a bird's eye view as to how your whole manifestation is going to unfold. You have a very limited, logical, 3D perspective. Everything is neutral. You assign the meaning. So yes, that's what I would say. I'd say go easy on yourself, go general, and go make yourself feel better. Like in the 3D, what can you be doing to, if you're feeling pain, like look after yourself. Um, what else? What else? What else? They seem to come in faster when you don't focus on them. I think when people let go of the need of something and manifest for fun, it's a way easier process. It's like, it's because they tap into this state of like, when people let go of stuff, it's because they normalize it and they step into this confidence of like, fuck, that's going to annoy me. They step into this confidence of, no, it's good. Like, I've got it. It's all good. And when people let go, they're not letting go of the desire, they're letting go of the old story. They're letting go of constantly thinking about, has this person conformed quick enough? What are they doing? Like, they've stopped thinking about that, because you can have the desire, but are you still focused on the current circumstances? And that's a big thing. You can be saying your affirmations, you can think you're focusing on the new and wanted story, but really you're still very much focused on the play by play of how things are going. Like, let's not complicate this at all. Let's not complicate this. Like, have fun. This is meant to be fun. This is meant to be fun. It's meant to be an easy process. That's what I believe anyway. It's meant to be an enjoyable process. You want to be able to sustain your process, your approach for the rest of your life. And like I say in my videos, you can change your technique, your process throughout your journey. So I was saying yesterday, I'm like, I feel like there are 3 different phases people kind of come into when it comes to manifestation: a very heavy learning phase, an application phase, and then a maintenance phase. And you can kind of go between for depending on the topic. So you might be in this like, okay, I've watched so many fucking videos and I know manifestation. I've read all the books. Like, I'm good. I just need to decide what my process is and apply and stick to it and follow through. Yeah, okay, that's where I'm at. Someone else might be like, oh, maintenance. It's like, okay, I've got my manifestation, or I'm seeing a lot of movement with my manifestation. I just need to keep maintaining what I'm doing. And I might watch videos here and there to keep me like pepped up and hyped up and really remind myself of like, yeah, I am God. This gets to be easy. This gets to be fun. Other people might be in a very much a learning phase. They might be at the beginning of their journey, or they might be at the beginning of their journey. Let's use that as an example. Maybe they've come from law of attraction, or they are new to manifestation. Like, oh, I need to binge all this information. But it's like, application is going to be, we're forever applying this work. Forever, 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 forever. Can you please also speak about how to manifest using your alter ego? Okay, that's a good question. I would say, okay, this is what I would say to that. Every version of you is an alter ego. Every new version of you is going to be slightly different. And you can see it. If you want to push it, if you're a visual person and you want to push this version of you, like your ideal version of you who has what you want, and make it like an alter ego and make it like a character you step into, and that's easier for you to embody, great, do that. But every version of you, every state that you kind of shift is like an alter ego, because you're slightly different. It's still you, but your thoughts are a little different. Your actions are a little different. Your feeling state's a little different. So if you want to, when it comes to an alter ego, let's use that as an example. If you want to like write out, like, okay, I don't know, Selena 2.0, let's go with that. And you're writing like, okay, this is what she thinks. This is what she does. This is her routine. This is how she acts. This is what she does in the morning. And you want to get specific like that. And you're like, okay, every single day, I'm going to be following that. And that allows you to be like, okay, cool. I feel like I'm embodying that more. Do that. That's amazing. That's a great way of manifesting. And what you'll find is the gap between this alter ego and your current version of you should close, and it should become one where you don't feel you're stepping into this new character. You feel like, no, that's just me. So all the work we do, whether it's affirmation, scripting, night tapes, all of that, like all our techniques, inner conversations, mental diet, it's to change who we are. You're always going to change. So if this alter ego kind of technique works for you and allows it to be a great visual representation for you of like, yeah, Selena 2.0, that's me. I'm going to be embodying her. I'm going to be acting and thinking like her in the day, like all day, every day. Then amazing. When I gave up on my SP because he was with someone else and I just tested the law, he came back within 2 months of me intending what I wanted, but persisting is key in awareness of thought. Exactly. So what ended up happening was you gave up on the old story. You probably worked on your self concept. I'm assuming this deep level of trust of like, I don't give a fuck. You want to be with this person? It doesn't matter. You're going to come back anyway. I'm going to focus on me. And you just drop the resistance from him. And then persisting in this thought of like, no, I know you're coming back and I know you're that version. I'm going to go enjoy my life. That's when this person came in. That's what I'm assuming was your process. Oh, great. I'm glad you like that explanation. But yeah, that's essentially what we're doing. Every single technique that you do, it's not about, okay, this is the key thing. If anyone takes anything from this video, it's like, it's not about changing them. It's about convincing yourself, and it's about changing yourself. Because when we change our inner world and we change us, everything else changes. Everything else changes. So that little mindset shift of like, I'm saying these affirmations to make this person do something or to make this person be this version. Flip it. It's like, no, I'm saying these affirmations or I'm scripting or I'm doing the technique so that I can change, so that I can believe that I'm the version of me who's fucking worthy to have this relationship. Who, oh my God, I'm always getting promotions at work. Like I truly believe that. Like it's in me, it's embodied. I'm stepping into this version of me. So my thoughts are going to be like that. That's the whole point of why we do things. It's not to fuck with the 3D, pardon me, and manipulate the 3D. It's like for you to change. That's the whole premise of manifestation, really. Hence why I believe anyway, there is never any wasted time when it comes to manifestation because the focus is always on you. You're always bettering yourself. This is a form of personal development. You're getting better every single fucking day. Like you should be saying to yourself, wow, I've done amazing. Like this past week, I've been so good with my mental diet. I've been great with my affirmations. I feel really calm. I've been doing my breath work or meditation. Like be proud of the work you've been putting into yourself to change how you're showing up in the world, how you're thinking. Like, this is all about you. So if it's taking you 3 months, 6 months, however long to manifest a specific person or a specific outcome, there's never any wasted time because you should have been changing within those 3 months, 6 months. You should feel and think like a different person. If you don't, then I would suggest that you change your approach because the version of you who is in these icky circumstances needs to be a slightly different version of you to experience what you want. Does this mean that you're broken and you need fixing? No, of course not. But this does mean that what you're dwelling in dominantly and how you're thinking and how you're showing up and your behaviors that you have in this certain state that isn't working for you, we need to drop and we need to shift. And it doesn't have to be a long process. Yet at the same time, if it does feel like a long process, there's not any wasted time because it's all about you. Like this is self-love at its fucking finest. This manifestation, SP, money, career, body, whatever, it's not going anywhere. That's just an extension of who you are. Like hand on heart, if I were to, knock on wood, freaking pass away tomorrow, I would be so happy of the person that I am. Even if certain circumstances hadn't fully conformed, I know that I'm good. Like I have worked on me to be like the best version of me that I can be. And I feel like that's why we've been put here on earth to like fulfill our biggest potential. I know for me anyway, it's like to fulfill my highest potential and to help others do the same. To be like, no, we've got this. Like, come on. We all have different starting points in regards to your upbringing. And I think that's part of the journey. It's like, okay, cool. You're at that starting point. I'm here. You're here. Great. Okay, let's like work with what we have and continue to fulfill our own potential. How amazing is that? Because everyone has, I don't know, everyone has different traumas, different upbringings, different limiting beliefs, different mindsets, different behaviors. And that's okay. Your approach might be different to someone else's. Your journey is going to be different to someone else's. Don't be comparing and thinking you're doing shit or you're not doing well just because someone else has found it easier than you. It is. It's 100% self-love at its finest. I love this, using this ideology. Amazing. I'm so happy. That's what manifestation is. It's not changing anyone else. It's not, I have to do this to get this. It's like, no, I get to, like, how yummy. Like, I get to be this amazing person who has these things, who thinks these incredible thoughts, who fucking, like, is so confident and secure with themselves that no matter what circumstances are presented to you, you're like, no, I'm good. I know how to consciously manifest. I'm good. Like, oh, so powerful. And like I said in yesterday's manifestation musings, we are, and I don't want to say this is a limiting belief, but it's kind of current fact. I intend to persist that this isn't the case, but we're a small portion of the population who practices conscious manifestation. There's a vast majority of the population of the however many billion people there are in this world who either don't know, who go, nah, that's a bunch of woo-woo shit, I refuse to do that, who don't know or don't want to know or don't want to implement and practice this work. So you have an advantage. You're already ahead. To know this work and to really know that now I have the tools to be confident, secure, to know that I can get what I want and I'm fucking limitless and I can change circumstances like that. I get to work on and shift my limiting beliefs so that they don't keep presenting itself. How incredible is that? How incredible is that? That's amazing. That's so fucking cool. And this helps other people. This helps the people you have in your your immediate vicinity. You help your friends, your family, your kids. Like you get to pass on this knowledge. You not fix. Wrong vocabulary. You shift you step into a more secure version of you. You help other people. That's so true. So they drift with whatever happens to them and then blame lives or higher power. Yep, exactly. Being in this and that's it's the saddest thing to see when people are in this habit, I'm going to call it a habit of like they're just in this habit of like things keep happening to them and they're constantly blaming the external. And it's like, "Oh my god, if you only knew the power that you had. If you only knew. If you're not growing, you're rotting. And fuck, I don't want to be rotting at all. I don't want to be rotting. I don't want to waste this amazing power I have within me focusing on shitty circumstances and blaming other people. No, not at all. So to kind of go back to what I was saying in regards to SP, the reason why I wanted to speak to that was they're great and they're amazing, but you have so many other things that you could be focusing on. They're not going anywhere. I don't want you to fear that if you stop focusing and thinking about them, oh, they're just going to like disappear and they're not going to be interested. That could be a lot of the resistance that you have. And practically speaking, like I mentioned before, being in this habit of like all you do is think about them all day, every day is not the habit that I personally would want to be in. Because when we think about it from a manifestation point of view anyway, the version of you who has what you want, it's normalized. So when you're in the relationship, yeah, you might be thinking about this person, like throughout the day at different points in the day, but not every single thought is going to be about this person. And you're not going to be basing your happiness on what they're doing, or you shouldn't be anyway. A healthy relationship, you shouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm not happy if they're going out with friends, and I'm not happy if they're going to see their mum and they're seeing their family and they're not spending time with me. Like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be in that dynamic either, where you're like jealous of them spending time with other people. It's like, okay, go have fun, but I know you have the most fun with me, so I'm chill. Whatever. Oh, okay. What's the most mind blowing out of thin air manifestation out of thin air that you've witnessed or have someone else witness out of thin air? Have I had any out of thin air experiences? Yes, with little things in regards to that wasn't there before, like that literally wasn't there before. I've looked in that spot and I've looked in that spot for fucking days and it wasn't there. And then all of a sudden it's there. But that doesn't seem so, like, it's mind blowing, but it's not so mind blowing if you're talking about out of thin air. In regards to manifestation in general, oh, you know what? You know what's probably the most mind blowing thing out of thin air? I don't know if anyone saw on my community post ages ago. This is probably the most wild for me. I had a piece of bathroom tile stuck in the bottom of my heel for about a month. It was agony. It started to get worse and worse and worse, and that disappeared out of thin air. I was about to book into the podiatrist to get it cut out because I couldn't even walk barefoot around the house. I had to put like trainers on to have some cushioning. And I was like, I don't want to go to the normal doctor. I don't want to go to the GP and get it lanced because like they're going to fuck up my foot. Like I just don't trust them. Like, oh, but I don't want to go to the podiatrist because I want to be able to train and go to the gym and I'm going to have to recover. But like I couldn't get it out. It was so lodged in there. And I had like my mum and my sister looking as well. And they're like, yeah, I can really feel it. It's getting worse and it's like being pushed in. And I was like, no, fuck this shit. All right, okay, let's book into a podiatrist. But I was still kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this. So I'm like looking for a local podiatrist that I can go to. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to affirm that this goes. Why haven't I thought of this? This is ridiculous. 3 days, woke up, there's a fucking hole in my foot where somehow in the night it has disappeared and fallen out. But like for the past month, I couldn't even get to it with tweezers or like trying to push it out. That is probably the most, I don't understand how that happened. And that was like in my body. Like I felt it. It was so much pain. Like there was so much pain. And then to wake up 3 days later after I had affirmed, what did I say? What was my affirmation? I was like, I don't know. Somehow this thing in my foot has disappeared. Like it was super casual. It was super chill. And I just persisted in that for like 5-10 minutes a day. And then 3 days later, it had disappeared. And I didn't believe it. Like I was like, what is going on? I was like feeling my foot for the next week afterwards going, how is this a thing? And I was like, yeah, there we go. I did it. I love manifestation. That's probably off the top of my head one of the crazy things. And for it to be not just like, oh, something just appeared, like, oh, I couldn't find my sunglasses and now I found my sunglasses, for it actually to be something that I was in so much pain about and for that to disappear, love it. Love it, love it, love it. I've had clients who there was a lump. They thought it was going to be cancerous. They affirmed, well, it wasn't them, it was their mum, I think it was. I think two. No, it was a mum and it was a partner. Out of thin air manifestation, went back to the doctor, can't find any lump. This shit's wild. This shit is wild. Please stop using all your power just focusing on this one thing when there's so many other things. We can focus on all of it at the same time. Don't base your self-concept as well. Do not base your self-concept on how quickly this person is conforming. Don't do that for a number of reasons. One, that's not where your attention should be in order to manifest this. And two, you're God. You're in charge here. Think about it, like a God who is above all circumstances, happy circumstances, positive circumstances, negative, unhappy circumstances, like literally above it all, because everything is neutral in the eyes of a God, would not be going, oh, this is happening now, I'm sad, and I'm not feel very powerful. No, no. You're not going anywhere. This is working. The money's not going anywhere. The job's not going anywhere. And even if it seemingly does look like it's going somewhere, it's not. Keep persisting in the new story. And that's the hard bit. It's like when you see the opposite and it genuinely hurts in your body of like, oh, I really wanted this. I thought I was doing good. And then this, I thought I was doing good. And this thing pops up. That's the bit where you're like, you have to really double down. You're like, know what? I'm going to believe even more. Now this thing has popped up. I'm going to go even harder with my belief. Watch me. Watch me. You want to doubt me? Okay, watch me. Watch me fucking manifest this shit. You want to say no? Okay, I say no to your no. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to focus on me. Wow. What day is it today? Friday. I didn't know gardening was happening on Friday morning. But anyway. What else did I want to speak to? Tell yourself, well, that's a strange bridge to get what I want. Exactly. It's all part of your bridge. Nothing is ever, how do I want to phrase this? It's all part of your bridge. There's never a purge. I don't like the concept of a purge. I feel like that's gone out of the manifestation, well, especially law of assumption community anyway. I don't think that's something that is talked about. You can see it as part of your bridge of events or see it as like a transition period. Like you're transitioning, you're shifting between states. I don't know how well you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me because it is quite loud. If things are still conforming, okay, see it as like you're transitioning. Like it's all good. You're just shifting. These might just be, I don't know, a bit of growing pains, and that's okay. We can handle it. We're going to be focusing on our new unwanted story. All right, one more thing that I wanted to speak to, and then I might hop off in a bit. If you guys have any more questions or anything you want to add, please do. What did I want to speak about? Okay, let's go. Since we started with SPs, I want to touch on this in regards to people go into two camps, okay, when it comes to specific people. When it comes to any, it doesn't have to be romantic, okay? Pardon me. They go into either taking full blame. You come into this work, you're manifesting a specific person, whether it's romantic, friendship, work, whatever it is. You take full responsibility and full blame. You start accepting behavior that you normally wouldn't be accepting just because you're consciously manifesting. Okay, like you're getting movement and you're saying yes to things that you don't really feel comfortable doing, or you wouldn't normally, like I said, be accepting if you weren't consciously manifesting. Oh, calls you at 2 a.m. Oh, you want to come over to my house? Normally, fuck no, as if. But because this is the first time you've heard contact from them in like 2 weeks, a month, you're like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll drop everything and I'll come and see you. It's like, okay, very interesting. We don't want to be doing that. I think people get scared of like, oh, this is the only bit of movement I get. If I don't accept it, this bit of movement, then I'm not going to get more. And that comes back down to confidence, stability, self-concept. So people are like accepting that I got to be super nice and this is all my kind of doing. And then you get other people who are like, fuck them, they're a bastard, they did this, and this, and then they don't take responsibility for what they've actually had in. And that is very interesting as well, because from the lens that I see the world, if I have friends or anyone who is not really into this work and they're telling me like, oh yeah, I broke up with so-and-so, they were awful, they were horrible, blah, 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 blah. I'm always like, oh, okay. And I'm like, all right, let's not be in coach mode or mentor mode. Let's just be like a listening friend. But it's like, okay, if they were so awful, isn't the question then, why did you stay so long? Not to victim blame, just to have some self-awareness of like, okay, why did you think that was okay behavior to accept or to deal with? Why did you continue to engage in that behavior? Very interesting question that you can ask yourself. I don't want you staying and dealing with behavior that is not what you should be dealing with. Yet also at the same time, we don't need to be arguing about everything. There's this happy medium of like, okay, that's fuck behavior. I'm going to say that's fuck behavior. No, I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to go focus on me. Or it's a daily annoyance, or they've done something that's not disrespectful, but it's just kind of annoying. And it's like, I'm not going to argue about it because there's no point arguing. I'm going to go back to my inner world and this is going to sort itself out. But everyone who isn't in this work wants to argue about everything, wants to speak to everything. Okay, let's sit down. We need to talk. We need to talk about this. Okay, you haven't been taking the bins out. You haven't been washing up. Blah, 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 blah. You went out with your friends. You didn't tell me that you got home. Like all of these little things that add up that everyone wants to speak to and make an argument out of. That's also interesting. So just an observation. Some people want to say that it's all them. We've got to be super nice and like you're accepting behavior that you normally wouldn't be accepting. Don't do that. Don't be that person. And also, let's not constantly be pointing the finger at other people and not taking a look inwards. Don't do that either. And it can be hard because it can be really triggering and it can be hitting on some limiting beliefs, some wounds, and it can be pulling at your heartstrings. So yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't accept behavior that you normally wouldn't be accepting if you weren't consciously manifesting this person. But also don't argue about everything. A lot of things don't need a reaction. They just don't. You can fix it up in here. It's crazy. This work is very, how do I say this? It can be a bit of a mind fuck. I'm going to say that. Yep, exactly. And the thing is, I hate nice. Like, I hate nice. I'm kind, but I'm not going to be nice 24/7 because nice to me is a form of manipulation. I'm going to be kind, but sometimes being kind is saying something that isn't necessarily that nice. Like you said, like being nice out of fear. It's like, no, like, thanks for letting me know, but I'm not going to fucking see you at 2 a.m. in the morning. See ya. Call me at a decent hour. Tips for long distance SP manifesting, especially when you're in no contact. Okay, so you kind of have to give me more insight into that. One, distance, as much as it seems real, is a circumstance. My worthy butt wants to sleep. Yes, 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 100%. Fuck that, no. You'd have to give me more because you'd have to tell me what the circumstances are, like all of that. So what I would say generally is don't see distance as this be all and end all. It's just a circumstance, especially now. Like, logically speaking, we're in a time where it's so easy to see people, to be FaceTiming people, to get on flights. Like, there's no COVID. Well, there is, but there's no restrictions. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can see people, you can FaceTime people. We're in a time now where long distance, even if you are physically long distance, you can still make it work. Like, I'll give you a personal example. And then no contact goes back to, are we focusing on the fact that it's no contact? What has happened? The circumstances? Like, you have to give me more. Okay, I'll give you a personal example. Like, my parents, so my dad's from the Philippines, my mom's from England. They were long distance for like 6 years. And think about it. My parents were in their 60s, long distance for 6 years. I mean, corded phones on the opposite sides of the world, and they made that work. My dad used to send my mum like love letters every single day. Every single day. She would get for years and years and years, she would get a letter with a little love heart sticker on the back. And my cousins, so her like nieces and nephews, couldn't read at the time. But when the letter came through the mail, they knew it was from my mum because of the little love heart sticker that my dad would put on. He would send her like bags and bags of like just clothes from, like, I think he was here in Australia at the time and she was over in England because they met here in Australia. Like, he'd be doing the most. And this was not when it was easy to have a long distance relationship. They weren't seeing each other on FaceTime. They weren't seeing each other's social media. They had fucking corded phones, literally corded phones where you go bring, bring like this, and a huge time distance difference. Like, it is a great time to be in a long distance relationship. So don't let that, like, my parents can do that. My mum moved from England to Australia to start a life with my dad. We're the closest, like our family, like me, mom, my sister, and I, me, mom, my sister, mom, dad, my sister, and I are super, super close. Super, super close. Like my sister's my best friend. So don't see long distance as like, oh my God, it's this huge thing. I get it. Like I understand. Obviously, it's nice to have someone near you and close and feel their physical presence, but don't let that be a very intimidating circumstance. Okay. Tethered to the wall by a phone. Exactly. Nuts. Crazy. I sometimes wonder if I'm attached too much towards family and friends. Could you provide more clarity about loving and forgiving others while also respecting their own journey and process of awakening? Okay. Well, you don't want to be, what do they call it? The wounded savior? Is that the archetype they call it? You don't want to be the person who has just come into this knowledge and now you're seeing everyone who's not doing this work. And then you're like, oh, I need to save you. I need to help you. Because one, that's fucking annoying. Two, you never want to force anything on anyone. You can change everything up here. You can be seeing your family and friends as like they're so interested in this work. They're constantly asking me stuff. Lead by example, honey. That's what I would say to you. When you're up leveling your life and you're happy and you're materializing all these amazing experiences, the money, the blah, 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 how happy you are, how amazing you feel and look, people are going to notice and people are going to be like, what the fuck is Travis doing? Teach me, like, help me, like, lead by example. Don't force anyone, and you can recreate someone in your mind. That's what I would say. We know trying to help someone by like dragging their feet doesn't work. It doesn't. Um, where are we going? I hope I answered that question. But have this pattern of men coming in all hot and heavy, dying to be with me, and then bailing out after the first fight. What happened to fighting for a chick? Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting? That's a strong assumption you have that will leave after the fight. They will leave after the fight. Switch it to no, I'm worth fighting for, and they will stay. First of all, why are we fighting? What are we fighting about? And why are we fighting for love? Love should be easy. Like Inkton Beautiful said, no, I'm worth, would I say what you can say if that works for you, I'm worth fighting for, but they're going to stay no matter what. They're going to stay. Plus, this dynamic of like fighting to me gives the connotations that it's a very tumultuous dynamic where like it's all good and then we argue and then we have to like make up and it's so dramatic. It's like, well, a stable and happy relationship, pretty chill. We might have a couple bumps, but we're able to get back on track very quickly. Like you don't want it to be like voo, 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 because that's exhausting. And that to me, if you were to go from a psychological point of view, like why is it always up and down? Like, what are we fighting about as well? After the first fight, that's interesting because to be honest, I rarely fight with people. And you can tell how vocal I am and how, like, I honestly, I don't remember the last time I fought with someone. What are we actually fighting about? Is it your own insecurities? Have they done something? Do you believe that you can't? Like, why is fighting your way of dealing with something that you don't like? Because for me personally, you're right. That's why I needed time out to work on my thought patterns. 100%. It's like, okay, I'm never going to yell at someone unless they're like, it's abusive, which I won't get into a situation like that. I just know that's my belief. I'm never going to yell at someone if they've made a mistake or done something wrong. I'm never going to chastise them. Like, people make mistakes, and I'm very understanding of that. And if that's the case, then if I ever make a mistake, I'm going to assume and believe that no, they're very understanding of me and very forgiving of me. I'm not going to put up with behavior I don't like, but if they're remorseful, I'm like, if someone makes a mistake, I'm not going to be like, rah. Do you know what I mean? There are other ways to be like, this is my worth, this is my value, this is how I want to be treated, than arguing with someone and making it a big song and dance. You know what fucks with people? Pulling back and disengaging and going like, no, like that was very disrespectful. That hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go look after me. Oh my God. Oh my God. They'll be like, what the fuck is like what? She doesn't even want to argue. I was expecting this big argument. Like I was like ready. I was ready to come in with my comebacks. I was ready to be like, oh, you overreacted. Like, think about it. People are so conditioned to, okay, if I say a man, let's go a man and a woman. Say a man makes a mistake. It is, especially if this isn't if this isn't his first relationship, because let's remember, majority of the population aren't stable, aren't confident, don't do this work, have no idea how to actually be in a stable, healthy relationship and dynamic. He's probably used to, if he fucks up somehow or falls out of line or whatever, she's going to come in and be like, da, 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 how dare you? And if you don't do that because you're so confident with like, okay, that I don't appreciate that behavior, but like, I know that this is going to work out, he's going to be bamboozled, and leaving that space for him to come correct. Mwah. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, a lot of the time I don't even respond when my guy says something that ticks me off. Exactly. And it's not about being avoidant. It's about, I'm not going to waste my energy on this. I have a strong knowing that, no, you're going to fix this. Yeah, perfect. Love that. You're right. That's why I needed time out to work on my thought patterns. The fight was very petty, lol, about him adding and liking pics of random girls on Insta. Oh, okay. I want to get into this. This is good. This will help people who are watching the replay as well. Okay. So, what are my opinions on this? Adding and liking girls. Okay. So, it's not nice behavior. Let's say this. It's not nice behavior. But in my opinion, there is a difference between adding girls and liking girls on Instagram. There's a difference between that. There's also, you'd also be like, were you in a committed relationship or were you in the formative phase of a relationship? There's a difference there. Because if you didn't have the commitment, then he's well entitled, unfortunately, to be fucking adding and liking girls, whoever he pleases. However, as much as you don't like that behavior, it's like, okay, why is this triggering you? You want to get to a point, and I'm not saying that you want to manifest this, but you want to get to a point that if he had a fucking naked lady in front of him, you would still be like, you're an idiot. You're going to apologize for this. I'm not even intimidated by this because I know I'm amazing. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm always committed to. I know whoever I'm with is always faithful. I know I'm always chosen and prioritized. So, see ya. I'm going to go look after me. Like, that's the space you want to get to. And the more that you're in this space and marinate in like, no, like my person only wants me, only has eyes for me because I'm amazing. I'm so worthy of commitment and a loving relationship and all of those amazing core beliefs you want to have. This behavior of like adding and liking pics of random girls on Instagram it will disappear. Yeah, definitely you can speak up, but you can also, another way of approaching it, again, I would have to know the circumstances, whether you guys were really together, blah, blah, blah. If they were people he knew, like it's, just don't be intimidated by it. Yes, I love that. I love that. I love that. You're like, oh, naked woman. Yeah, she's pretty. Wow, I like that tattoo. Exactly. Like, make it nothing. Make it nothing. This might just be behavior that he in the past, because remember, other people have their own shit and limiting beliefs. Okay, like they have their own baggage. Not to say this is a limiting belief that you can't recreate someone, but like just don't engage with that. Don't engage with that. Yeah, and that's totally fine, honey. Like Sonia, like if it's in a committed relationship and that happens, and there were talks about marriage and stuff, of course that would be triggering and hurtful. Of course. But it also shows you of like, okay, how big did I make this argument? Was this an ongoing thing? Did I address this before? Or is this like something that keeps reoccurring? Did I let him know? Was this just like I kind of blew up at him? And why is it actually triggering me? Now, okay, this is why I want women, especially women, men, whoever. The internet is just gonna, like, socials is just gonna be popping more and more and more. Okay, as people turn fucking 18, there's gonna be more and more people on the internet wanting to show their naked bodies. Okay, and if your whole life is focused on trying to manipulate the environment of like, you can't watch that, you can't go here, you can't do this, like, see how you're only feeling secure because you're manipulating the environment rather than all of that energy focused on you feeling secure regardless what is happening. Yeah, it might be triggering. Yeah, it might be annoying. But trying to be like, no, you can't do this and you can't do that. Fuck. If a man said that to me, you can't do this, you can't do that, I'd be like, get fucked. You kidding me? You can't wear this. You can't say that. Don't even look at him. He was talking to you. And I know that's different from liking people on Instagram. I get that. But you want to get to this point. Again, you don't have to accept behavior you don't want to accept. But at the same time, my focus for you would be like, let's get so solid in you. Let's get so solid in you. Because also, I don't know, because I think, well, you were the one who said about this long distance, wasn't it, as well? It would also be interesting if it was like you were already in a long distance relationship and then you saw him liking and adding girls on Instagram. Because then that would also, yes, it was me. Then that would also be interesting. Because then did you make a big kerfuffle because you were already feeling insecure because you weren't physically together? And then there'd be more we need to unpack there. Okay. Question. How do you feel about the effects of nutrition, exercise, meditation, etc. on enhancing connection to source and ability to manifest? Or are these actually limiting beliefs? Okay, I love this fucking question. I love this question because I'm a personal trainer and a nutritionist, okay? I love meditation. I love breath work. I just saw 5555 then. I'm not big into angel numbers, but I love that I saw that. Okay, this would be what I would say. You are limitless, you can manifest whatever. And at the same time, why wouldn't you want to look and feel your best and be the healthiest version of you? Because consciousness is within this physical meat sack, right? Don't you want to have the energy to be able to persist in the new one story? I know if I'm not sleeping enough, if I'm not drinking enough water, if I'm not training, if I am eating shitty food and I'm eating a lot of food because like okay, I'm on the extreme of like I track everything I eat. I'm training really hard. I'm going to be prepping for a competition at some point. Like I'm in the extreme where I am ticking everything off and I know that when I am doing what I'm meant to be doing, getting 8 hours sleep, drinking 3 liters of water, like eating enough protein, like when I'm ticking everything off, meditating, I feel unstoppable. I feel incredible because the foundation stuff, like I'm actually parenting myself and doing what my body needs, nothing phases me. A circumstance pops up, oh, I got the energy to be like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'm going to be focused here. Whereas if you're agitated because you're not sleeping enough, you're spending till 3 a.m. on TikTok scrolling the whole time, you're eating shitty food, you're eating way too much food, you're not drinking enough water, you're drinking too much caffeine. It's like, why would you want to make your life harder than it needs to be? That would be my 2 cents of like, don't you deserve to be looking after yourself to the best of your ability because you're amazing and you're incredible and you're God? And don't you also want to have the energy to persist in the new wanted story and feel like ready to take on the day that whatever comes your way, you're like not intimidated by it? So that's what I would say. I would say, why wouldn't you want to look after your physical being? From a logical, practical perspective, I want to be ready that God forbid, I don't want to manifest, but say something does manifest where there's an emergency or whatever, like I want to be able to be like, okay, I can run away or I can look after myself. I intend that makes sense. So it's just like, think about it. The version of you who loves themselves and who has like health is everything. You can have so much money, but if you don't have health, you're not going to be able to enjoy that money. You can have all these amazing, lovely people. You can have your gorgeous SP in this relationship. You don't have health, you can't enjoy that relationship. You're going to be thinking about your health and how shit you're feeling the whole time. I don't want to make that a limiting thing in my life. I want to make sure I'm looking after myself so I can enjoy all these experiences and all these things that I want to manifest. I want to be here till I'm well over 100, you know? Like, I don't want to be if this really is our one life, if that is really the case, then I want to squeeze every bit of juice out of it. And I want to make sure that my physical body is like primed and so is my mind. Okay, where are we? No, I just blew up and didn't really give him a chance, can't lie. But thank you so much for this need this. You are so welcome. Yeah, we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to get to a point where you're like, blah, 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 like you've been biting your tongue the whole time. Because the whole point is If you decide to not engage in something and go, okay, you know what, I'm not going to speak to this, I'm going to focus in here, then you need to drop the focus off it. And you need to be like, no, I know where this is going. It's not like I'm not going to speak to anything in 3D, but I'm going to now bottle it up and I'm going to argue in my head. That's not what we want to be doing. We need to address it in our mind, but like drop the resentment, forgive this person if you want to forgive this person. Because if you want to recreate this, you need to drop the old story, not be like holding on to something. And that's the aim, to tap into my own inner goddess energy so I stop being affected by the 3D. Yes, 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 100%. And is this to say that you have to be perfect? No, you do not have to be perfect, because you are perfect, because you are consciousness. But it's like, again, do I need to waste my energy on this? It's like the saying, pick your battles. You know what I mean? Like, pick your battles. Do I really need to be arguing over this shit? I can if I want to, but do I really want to? You can have everything in the world, but you can't make your own happiness on your own when you'll never find it in them or that. Yeah, if you're putting your responsibility for your own happiness in someone else, you will be fucked. You will be fucked. Because what happens when this person gets busy, if they get sick and they get a cold, or they're seeing their friends, like all of that, you will any space, them being distracted with their own life, if they're responsible for your own happiness, you don't have any autonomy. You won't be able to self-regulate. Like, you want to be good. You want to be good. It's like, it's two wholes coming together, not you being like complete me. As cheesy as that sounds, it's true. I love these questions. These questions have been freaking awesome. I might stay on a little bit longer. I have no idea what time it is on the other side of the world. But if anyone has to go, I won't be butthurt. Go for it. I will teach this work and speak about this to a wall. I love it that much. I thought of something that I want to ramble on about just then, in regards to, oh, fuck, it's gone. What was it? Okay, this was it. 8:30 in Florida. Okay, so it's not too late if you're that side of the US. What was I going to say? Fuck, what was it? Oh, this was it. In regards to choosing your battles, I wanted to riff on that. I feel like, I don't know if I've said this somewhere. I feel like I have, but I want to hone in on this again. I can see a pattern with some clients, and an old version of me kind of did the same, where it was like, well, if I'm God in my reality, then I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can say whatever I want. I can do chasing behavior, and I can be desperate. I can argue. Like, I can do all this icky behavior because I'm God and I can revise. Yes, you can do that. But again, why do we want to get into the habit of not being your best self, of being super reactive, of having to constantly clean up your own mess because of shit that you could have prevented? And again, all this behavior, this really reactive behavior, shows me that there's a bunch of like underlying limiting beliefs of like, you're constantly triggered by circumstances. You think that there's always a problem, when it's like, no, there's never a problem, because I'm always the solution. I know I can handle this in a very mature way, like it's all good. So don't, especially when it comes to SP, like romantic SP, do you want to, the dynamic most people want to set up, especially if it's like feminine and masculine energy, it's like the man, or whoever's the masculine in your relationship, is the one that's pursuing you, right? That's usually the dynamic that most people want. It's like they want to be the one who's pursued. They want to be the catch. They want to be treated like the prize, right? Like all of those things. So then why are you getting into the habit in the 3D of constantly closing this gap, of constantly doing all this desperate, icky behavior? Because you don't feel, and I'll tell you why. It's because you're like, oh shit, this isn't moving along quick enough. Is this actually working? Will this actually work? You don't feel you can self soothe sitting in the fact that there is a bit of space in the 3D. You think something is wrong. It's like, okay, let's actually look at why you're doing this behavior, why you're constantly being the one to initiate things, and you don't feel okay because deep down, you really want this person to be the one pursuing you, but you keep being the pursuer. We can change it in here, but why are you constantly being in that habit? Pardon me. Very, very interesting. Again, you can do what you want because you're God of your reality, but why set up the dynamic like that in the 3D to then have to then clean it up and change? Like, let's let's like use some common sense here. Revision doesn't work for me. I prefer to learn a lesson and stop repeating patterns. Ooh, that's interesting. And again, that's a rule that you can have in your reality. If you don't want to use revision, you don't want to use revision. I feel, and you get to decide that. And the fact is, we're always learning. So I love that. If you're like, I don't want to use revision, I just want to learn the lesson and then decide to not do that anymore, brilliant. That's great. But you can, if you do like revision, go for it. It's the same thing. Like manifesting forward or manifesting backwards, revision, manifesting backwards. In my opinion, it's all the same thing. Everything is going my ways and I feel so good. Then I started looking for bad things to make myself feel bad. And I don't know what's wrong with me. Why are we doing that? If everything was good, why did we self sabotage? Why? I can tell you why, but I would love to hear why. We need to, and this is how funny the human brain can be. Yeah. When you're so used to shitty behavior and you have found comfort in anxiety, in fear, in lack, you need to get to this space where you're comfortable with things being good and things going your way and not self-sabotaging. Because what you're doing, I'm assuming you don't feel comfortable right now with things going well. You're so used to shit and shitty experiences that you're like, hang on, things are going really well. Maybe you're bracing for impact. You're like, things are going really well. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it's like, no, 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 no. Let's not do that because then you're going to materialize shit and you're going to feel bad. You haven't fucked anything up. You can clean this up. Just as like how quick you decided to look for bad things, let's start looking for good. So get comfortable with things like working out. Get comfortable when you get movement. I also see a common thing with people. Again, I don't want to keep reaffirming this as the thing, but it's like, I'll say it in the past. People in the past have come to me and been like, I got this movement, but I'm kind of worried now. I've got this sense of anxiety of like, I've got this movement. Oh my God, what happens if this is only a bit of movement? Or they're just not used to, they don't trust that this movement will stay. Or they're not used to things actually being this good. It's like, okay, breathe, do some breath work, meditate, like actually self-soothe and be like, no, movement's always happening. I feel very comfortable when I experience movement. I feel very comfortable and safe and secure when my manifestation is unfolding. Get yourself, like reprogram yourself to feel good as things are getting better. Don't be waiting for the other shoe to drop. And again, this is practice. This is like, no, life gets to be this good. And I don't need to feel bad about it. I don't need to wait for something bad to happen. I don't need to be like, oh my God, fuck. For the past month, things have been amazing. Shit, something bad has to happen. No, 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 no. Don't make that a rule in your reality. So true. Girl, you're doing the God's work here. Amazing. We love that. It's being able to reframe situations all the time and be like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. And because you're still tapping into this state of you've experienced this movement, but then you've slipped into a version of you who's kind of fearful and anxious. And it's like, okay, if we continue to dwell and marinate and persist in this version of you, then this beautiful movement or circumstance that is actually working in your favor, it's going to recalibrate to this state of you being anxious here. And then you're going to kick yourself. So again, it's not about being perfect, but it's about being like, no, like I have the power within me to feel good, to change circumstances. Everything is always working out for me, even when it doesn't seem like it's working out for you. Even when I was in the fucking emergency room and I was like, what's going on? This is shit. I was like, no, this is all working out for me somehow. And it did. And it was like the best thing ever because it gave me an opportunity to be like, okay, Selena, you were being forced to like sit here for hours and think, okay, let's like do like a little bit of a inventory of life and see where you can be refining things even more. And I was like, you know what? I want to get on lives more. I want to be speaking to people more. I want to connect with people more. Everything always works out for us. Yes, yes, yes. Always. Always, always, always. Because I mean, what's the worst that can happen? What are you going to do? The circumstance is the same and you get to choose whether it's working out for you or it doesn't. Even if the circumstance doesn't change in that moment, okay, doesn't it feel better to think that it is working out for you? And then the more we persist in that, the circumstance will disappear and change entirely. It makes logical sense to me. It's like I'm always going to be solution focused I'm not going to be problem focused, because if I'm problem focused, then that's all I'm going to be experiencing. You don't need to be intimidated by circumstances ever, ever, ever. You don't need to ignore circumstances. Handle the circumstance in the 3D if you need to. Just don't be intimidated by it. Oh, you were so welcome, lovely. Yes, I hope all my rambles and all my musings today have been beneficial for everyone. I really want to get to this point where, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that that's the case. Seriously, this work, um, just going to say good advice. Yay! This work continues to change my life like it does. Like, it genuinely makes me upset. And I want everyone, again, like I was saying to Travis before, like, you can't force people into this work, but like when you see it, just listen. I know how you can fix this. But again, forcing is not the vibe. But this leading by example is always going to be the vibe in my world, and it helps other people. Just like I said in the live yesterday, me being so on top of my health, my nutrition, my training, the people in my household like see that, like, oh shit, Selena goes to the gym every single day. She does her steps. She's tracking her nutrition. She's making sure da 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 da. All this is happening. Oh, I can do that. Maybe I can start going for walks, or maybe I can start drinking more water. Like, as you continue to do this mindset work, this will help other people. Like, be the example. This is all self love, and it's going to, like, all this goodness is going to just spread to everyone else. It's actually incredible, because let's bring it to again into a dynamic with people. When you're stable and you're secure, if someone is kind of a little bit messy still, let's use that as an example, they've got their own shit going on and they want to argue with you. If you're not going to engage and entertain that behavior, and you're not going to dance in this, like, let's call it trauma dance with them, and you're going to be like, no, I'm good. Like, I love you. Like, it's all good. I know that this is all going to be sorted out, all of this stuff. Then this person has no choice but to conform to that, because what are they going to do? They're going to argue with themselves. You're going to leave space for them to come correct and step forward. Like, you continuing to go back and forth and play fucking tennis with someone and dance with someone in this trauma dance. Like, you allow this person, when you don't accept certain behavior, but you trust that you can create change. You trust that you can recreate this person. You trust that everything is working out for you. You allow them to step into their, like, highest potential. Like, what a fucking gift. Recreating someone and thinking amazing thoughts about them, the situation and everything, and how they interact with you. You allow them to be their best self. Like, that's the best gift you could ever give someone. No one wants to be a fuckwit. That's my belief anyway. No one wants to be in fear. No one wants to be super toxic. It's not fun. They're going to sit with that every single night, go to bed with, like, just like all the cortisol and the adrenaline and all that shit. Like, no one wants that. So don't dance with someone. If they're doing shit you don't like, hold your own, disengage, work on your beliefs, self-soothe if you need to. Don't accept stuff that you don't want to be accepting. But we also don't have to argue. Where was I up to? I'd love to know your diet, actually, like all protein or... Okay, so I'm very... Mine's like, I eat anything. I don't have any dietary restrictions, but my current... I'm not going to say my calories just because I don't want people copying them. Pardon me. Why am I so phlegmy? I'm in a dieting phase at the moment, so I'll generally speak about it. I have a certain protein target that I want to hit. Usually it's about 120 grams of protein a day. And then my other calories, my fats and carbs, will also be, scheduled, monitored, assigned. So at the moment, I know protein is 120 grams. I will either be... I'll make my own meal plan and then cycle certain foods all the time, because that's always going to be best for a fat loss phase, is to be eating very similar foods every single day, because it just allows less error. So I'm tracking everything. Water needs to be high. I'm training 5 days a week. And currently, like, this is intense, this dieting phase. So it's a dieting phase. I'm going to see how much muscle I need to build. Then I'm going to go into a build phase. And then we're going to come back into a dieting phase. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years. So this isn't new to me. And then training, I'm training 5 days a week with 5 lots of cardio as well, and then 10,000 steps. So it's a fair bit. I will say that it's a lot. So this week, to be honest, this past week, because I've just been recovering and I wanted to like listen to my body, I had said to my coach, because I love coaches and mentors. Even though I can do it myself, I love being looked after by someone else and learning from other people. Always will, always have. He's like my 10th coach in the past 5 years, I think, and he's awesome. I've kind of said to him, like, okay, this was a bit of recovery. I'll see if I can get into the gym today. I'm feeling a lot better. And then this weekend. So, yeah, protein's really important. Protein's super important. Not just for fat loss, for muscle recovery and growth, for your hormones, like for so much. That's one thing. Generally speaking, people don't eat enough protein and don't eat enough fiber. Just to be better than you were yesterday. And like when life is like busy and you have like kids to look after, like, oh my goodness. Like you're like parents who are trying to do their stuff and also look after kids, you're fucking superheroes, honestly. I can only imagine like 3 young boys. But it's like, okay, let's not also let's acknowledge where you're at, but let's not use that as a limiting belief of like, now I can't do it. It's like, no, you can. You get to choose you. But exactly what you said. Just be better than you were yesterday. What I would say is don't use the now being 35 as your reason for certain things to maybe happening with your body. Yes, from a logical perspective, we can be like, okay, there are changes in regards to as we age, but also from a manifestation point of view, if we're to bring that in, let's go back to manifestation. It's like, okay, let's not as be like at 35, things go downhill, or at 40, things go downhill. Like let's not play into that story. Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with carbs. I fucking love carbs. Carbs are great. Yet at the same time, if that's majority of your intake, like this is again very logical advice. If that's a majority of your intake, you're not going to feel very full because protein is going to be very filling. Um, and you're going to get these like crashes because you're going to run through the carbs very quickly. Beautiful. I'm so happy about that. Moving your body however you want to fucking move your body. But I'm really glad. Is it Kedra? Is that how I say it? Kedra? Um, but I love it. So aligned with yes, exactly. Been reframing my mind. Reframe your mind. Yeah, mums are fucking superheroes. Seriously. That is, and I'll be honest, that is a belief that I know I have to. Like, I'm 27 now. I don't think I'll have kids anytime soon. Maybe in my 30s. Who knows? But that's something that I know I will have to clean up because I've got a lot of story in my head of like how hard it is to be a parent and like how you have to be really self-sacrificing. And like I fucking love how much I get to think about myself being someone who doesn't have kids. So that would be something I would have to work on. So just remember, this thing is like manifestation and belief work is like an ongoing thing for the rest of your life. Like, let's go with a parent example. You might have your beliefs are going to change as your kids get older. Like you might have limiting beliefs that come up or these new beliefs that you form like when they're teenagers that you didn't have when they were little. And so it's like we don't have to have everything locked in and perfect. It's just like being confident and secure enough and having the tools to be like, no, like I've got me. If I do experience something or change happens, because change is inevitable, because we're always changing, I can change this circumstance. I can switch my thinking. I am going to love you and leave you. I have fucking enjoyed this morning. It's been awesome. I love speaking about this work. Thank you so much for joining me. 3 kids and a single mom. Change always happens. Yes, 100%. Change always happens. And that's what makes life fun. You know what I mean? Change always happens. I will, you know what? I'll probably gonna come on tomorrow, to be honest. I've got some fitness clients in the morning, my time. But yes, if I've got some time, I'll come in tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. Thank you so much for joining me. You got this. Remember, you're the priority. You. Everything else comes after you. SP comes after you. Money comes after you. Everything. Okay? You're here. Let's not place all your focus on just one manifestation and then be saying that you're a shit manifester because they're not conforming quickly or to your desired speed. There is so much happening behind the scenes that you have no idea is happening. Okay. Like, no idea. Think about it this way. If you're experiencing no movement or very little movement, that's because you're probably going to get the full manifestation. You're going to quantum leap like crazy. Okay. I love you all so much, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.